The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting group. Get involved with Access Fort Wayne and make your own television programming. Call 421-1250 to find out more.
Good evening and welcome to 1 Year, 1 Healthy Change, a Fort for Fitness Wellness, Health and Wellness offering. I want to introduce myself tonight. I'm Marcia Worthington and I'm a registered nurse and I'm also the director of Fort for Fitness Community Wellness. Glad to see all of you here tonight and want to tell you a little bit about the Fort for Fitness offerings that we have. It's actually our 5th anniversary for Fort for Fitness and we'll be doing our fall festival September 28th and 29th this year. About 2 years or so ago, we decided that we could really impact a lot more people in the Northeast Indiana area by expanding health and wellness, or by expanding Fort for Fitness with some health and wellness offerings that we would be able to position on the Fort for Fitness website. So we have a pretty robust offering there. So if you've not looked at it before, make sure that you go on, take a peek. We have a lot of things there on a regular basis. We have a very robust health and wellness calendar. So if you're looking for a run, a walk, a health education class, perhaps health screenings, those kinds of things, you'll find those on the website. We also have hot links to a lot of health and wellness vendors in our area, to the YMCA, to the Fort Wayne Track Club, to Lutheran Hospital, to Parkview, the Fort Wayne Trails, and some other initiatives that are doing a lot of wonderful health and wellness programs in our area. So I encourage you to take a peek at that. And it's all located at www.fortforfitness.org. This year, 2012, we decided to offer up a new initiative. It's called 1 Year, 1 Healthy Change. And our goal for Fort for Fitness this year was to really throw out the challenge, so to speak, to everyone in the community to say, what one thing could you do that would really improve your health this year? Might it be eating more healthfully? Might it be deciding to add more physical activity to your lifestyle? Maybe it's choosing to become tobacco-free. Whatever that one thing is, we've designed a website. Again, it's on the Fort for Fitness website. That initiative that's called 1 Year, 1 Healthy Change. It's a wonderful toolkit that offers a lot of great tools and resources to help you plan for success and actually be successful in making that behavior change. So, and the 5 topics that we really offer there are, number 1, becoming more physically active. Number 2, looking at better ways to balance stress within your life. Thirdly, ways to manage your weight, ways to become smoke-free, and lastly, eating more nutritiously with both your meals and your snacks. All these tools, again, are located on that Fort for Fitness website. And then in addition to that, each month from February through June, we're offering a live educational session here at the downtown Allen County Public Library. And so tonight's session is the 4th in our series, and tonight's is on physical activity. Want to share just a couple of things with you before I introduce tonight's presenter to you. And one was that last month our topic was on balancing stress and stress management. Dr. Dave Johnson spoke on stress resiliency and personal renewal. Just a fantastic offering to help all of us that might have a lot of stress within our lives look at healthier ways to cope with that. And if you missed that particular topic, wanted to let you know that that is now being rebroadcast on both Comcast and on Verizon. And you can find out the specific dates and times for that by going to the Fort for Fitness website and looking in the section called 1 Year, 1 Healthy Change, and you'll be able to find those dates and times. Tonight's session, again, is on physical activity, and our topic tonight is called Today's Family on the Move. And our presenter tonight is Barb Ceresa, and Barb is a health and wellness director from Parkview Family YMCA. So the format for tonight is going to be Barb will be presenting. She has brought Melissa, a mom and a friend with her that's going to talk about ways she's implemented some of these tips within her family, and then we'll be throwing it open for some questions and answers as well. Just 2 quick announcements, and then we'll move into that program. Our next offering will be actually June the 5th here at the library, Meeting Room A, and that topic that night will be on tobacco-free. Is that a change I'm willing to make? Linda Kerr, a nurse practitioner from the Parkview Women's Health Center, will be our presenter that night, and we're encouraging everybody that's, really thinking and seriously about becoming smoke-free to come and really look at the evaluations and the tools that she has to help you really analyze that and to help you be able to plan for success in becoming smoke-free. Also want to announce that Fort for Fitness is beginning a brand new event this month. It will be on May the 26th, and it's called Spring Cycle. So it's a bicycling event. So for those of you that have joined us in the fall for walking, running, that kind of thing, or for those of you maybe that haven't because you're not into walking or running, encourage you to join us for Spring Cycle. It will be May 26th. Location for that is at the Headwaters Park downtown Fort Wayne. We'll have a lot of fun activities going on that day. There will be a 3-mile, really a family fun ride on the streets of downtown Fort Wayne. Leisurely, go at your own pace. Then we'll also offer three distance races that day, or not really races, but more rides. And those are 19, 35, and 45 miles, whichever length you choose. And there also is a competitive criterion that's going to be offered later in the afternoon for the really serious bicyclist. If you are interested, not sure if you want to even ride your bike or not, come on down to Headwaters Park, see what we have to offer that day. All the details about this are on the website, so I encourage you to take a look at that. Lastly, I want to let you know that we just actually today got in the new brochures for fitness activities, and I have them back here in the back if you'd like to pick them up later. We have the Spring Cycle event on May the 26th. And then we have the fall Fort for Fitness event, the walk-run events of the 4-mile, the 10K, and the half marathon. We also, again, this year are offering a kids marathon, and lastly, a senior challenge for those 50 and over that want to choose which challenge they might like to enter in this year. So lots of fun opportunities for Fort for Fitness and for physical activity and involvement. So at this point, I want to introduce our presenter, Barb Ceresa. And again, Barb is Health and Wellness Director at the Parkview Family YMCA. And Barb, we're delighted to have you. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Good, thanks for being here. Again, my name is Barb Ceresa, and I am the Health Wellness Director at the Parkview YMCA. Just to give you a little background on my background, I do have a master's degree in exercise physiology and have been in the field, I'll age myself, since about 1988. And I will say since 1988, the focus on the family has been a trend that we have continued to try to figure out how do we become active in our family. A lot of times it stems from us as parents, us as significant others, but we do realize that it's a package that's real important to look at. So today's topic, we'll talk a little bit about what is the key to being successful with that, and then we'll talk with a good friend of mine in regards to her success story and where she went for that journey. Our family's moving in the right direction. We know that social changes over the last 50 years have had a huge impact on the American family. The effect on this living patterns in regards to family arrangements have reduced the amount of exercise that we get. So if we look at the structure from 50 years ago, our lifestyles have changed. I mean, we are in constant movement with our family. From the minutes we get up in the morning, if it's 5 in the morning, till when we go to bed, till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, we're constantly programmed to do something. I will tell you, we use the term at the Y, we are what we call an on-demand society. And on-demand means we are constantly needing to be rewarded, we're constantly needing to have something to do. With that change in our lifestyle, it has created some unhealthy habits to occur, and it's created us to sort of put activity and wellness on a back burner. To give you some statistics of where we're at, we'll talk a little bit about children, and we're going to also talk a lot about the adult, because I truly believe in a family structure that the adult is a role model, and you'll hear me use that term quite a bit, that we are role models. Even if we're not in a family in regards to having kids, we also are a family if we have a significant other in our life, if we have parents that we're raising or being with us as they age. A family is just a unit that connects us all together. Children, statistically, we know that 50% right now do not get enough exercise to develop healthy heart and lung systems. We know that 98% have at least one heart disease risk factor, and I know you hear a lot about risk factors. A risk factor for heart disease would be high blood pressure, diabetes being highly correlated to kids, obesity, lack of exercise, high cholesterol or high lipid levels. So again, you'll hear those terms sort of risk factors. We also know that 13% have at least 5 or more risk factors, And again, risk factors can even reach out to genetic, age, which doesn't really affect the child but more of the adult, but genetic does play a role in regards to that. 20 to 30% of children are obese, and that's based on what we call a body mass index. And we know that 75% eat too much dietary fat. Okay, so a lot of that's pretty common knowledge. But when you look at, to me, that 75% and that 98% with one heart disease risk factor, that's sort of scary. And we know that activity does play a role in regards to controlling those statistics. With adult statistics, we know that 64% don't get enough exercise to maintain a healthy heart and lung system. 24% never exercise. 35% are overweight, and 30% smoke cigarettes. So if you look at those statistics, 64% sort of jumps out at me at activity. We do know that it's harder for us to get an adult moving. As we age, we become a creature of habit, and sometimes it's hard for us to make that change, versus when we are younger or when we are in that children stage, they're usually more successful at making changes, and then hopefully if they have that good role model in their life that they'll continue on that cycle. Okay, here's that parents as role models. Okay, we know that studies show that parents participate with their children in strenuous physical activity at an average of 1 time per week. That sort of blew my mind because that's not a lot. And when we think of strenuous physical activity, that's defined as doing some type of movement that gets you breathless for a period of time, saying 15 to 30 minutes. So if you think of that, 1 time a week is what we're averaging right now that a family is engaging in some type of movement at that level. We know that families can improve their health and fitness by taking the following steps. Again, here's that role model. Parents need to act as good role models when it comes to health habits. Parents and children should talk about the importance of exercise. I think it's important to have that part of our voice when we're talking in regards to engaging in movement and making sure that kids realize that it is important for them to do activity versus staying in and playing video games or watching television or being on the computer. Parents should help children realize that exercise can help them meet, life goals, happiness. You'll hear popularity, longevity. We all know that when we are in better physical condition, we feel better about ourselves. And when we feel better about ourselves, we're a lot better person to be around. Same thing is engaged with the children. We know that children, when they are healthier, they again are going to be a lot more happier. Self-esteem is going to be stronger, which in this day and age is very important. Parents should teach children to take time to exercise. That's that role model. If children don't see their parents being active, then they don't see the importance of it. And I know I hear that a lot, especially in this day and age, we are constantly transporting our kids from activity to activity. We're taking them to piano lessons, we're taking them to soccer, we're taking them to a baseball game, and then we're packing everybody up, and then we're over here to this another agenda. And a lot of times we'll hear parents say, I don't have time to exercise. But there are ways to make that. There's no reason while we're out at a soccer field that we can't get out and walk the field while our kids are practicing. Sometimes we worry about the guilt. The child's going to say, Mom, you weren't sitting there watching me. But if they realize that, oh, you're out exercising, you're doing something healthy for yourself, then that's going to be passed down to them as a role model. Families should participate in exercise activities together. This, again, could be walking, cycling. It's neat to get creative, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the creative ideas that we can do as a family. We know that parents, again, as a role model, we need to set examples of how to incorporate exercise in everyday life. So when we're with our family, if we're able to do it, can we take the stairs versus the elevator? If we're in a safe area, can we park the car further away, and walk a little bit further into the store? Is it not easy for us maybe to, rather than to go to the drive-up pharmacy at Walgreens or CVS, can we unload everybody and walk in? Usually when parents, I say that to them, I get this look like, oh my gosh, can you believe the trouble? I got to take them in, and then I've got to worry about them because they want to buy this toy or that, and sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging. But we have gotten away from that society. Everything we do, again, is convenience for us. We've got dry cleaners. I mean, we can drive up to get our prescriptions. We can drive up to the bank. So it's so important to make sure we roll that to put more exercise in our day. Families should find ways to make reaching fitness goals fun. For example, miles walked can be plotted on a map. Family celebrations can be held when major milestones are reached. There's a lot of us, when we look at whole